have a couple of jokes right now. Huge sigh of relief. Tottenham gave you the best birthday presents, Sim.
Yeah.
He did. He did say. He did say at the beginning that he was Tottenham always win around his birthday or give him something big, so he can have this one.
Thank God they did, and just like, but thank God this shit show of a clusterfuck of a season is over.
Absolutely, and it's we can all look. We can put it behind us now. We can breathe a big sigh of relief. What was in terms of just sticking on today, just for a moment? We stepped up today, didn't we? Big game, lots of pressure. I thought we played well.
Yeah, look, we played well in parts. We certainly did. I think the main thing to take away from it was the mental attributes that we needed. We need to show fight. We need to show courage. We need to show passion. We need to show bottle. And we showed all that. We showed all that. Even when West Ham went 1-0 up, 2-0 up, there could have been doubts creeping in. But a very disciplined professional performance, a clean sheet, and a home win. I mean, miracles do happen.
You know this, Brian.
so look, that all that mattered today, obviously, it was the points over the performance. If we could get a performance out of it, so much the better. We've got away with it. There were green shoots there. There's a few players that really stood out for me today.
Who?
But like I said, it's done and dusted. We are a Premier League team. Relief is over. The battle is won as keeping our status. Now it's the war of getting the dickheads out of this football club.
You're absolutely right, and we'll get into that. But you said a few players stood out for you today. Who were they?
Yeah. Our goalkeeper.
Yep.
Kinski, right at the death again. Quiet game. Did everything all right with his feet. But when the doubts were all, when it was getting near the end, and he needed to come up with a big save, boy did he. And you know what, that man, like I've said it, I think a lot of Spurs fans have said it, whether they've come on the show or spoken about it on social media or whatever it may be, for what that man has gone through and had to deal with, to come back and put in the 6-7 performances that he's put in was incredible. I think Porro again today was great.
He was good today.
I think Porro was, people know I'm a huge fan of his. Defensively, I thought he was very, very good. I was actually surprised that he didn't go right wing and Spence played right back. But right decision. And I think after our horror show at Chelsea, Paulinho was absolutely magnificent and incredible. And that guy needs to be signed up as soon as possible. As soon as possible. He is incredible. And how vital have his goals been. We thought when he was coming, it would be vital for his number 6 in defensive play. His goals have been crucial.
Yeah. Real crucial.
Yeah, absolutely. 5 goals this season, and especially the last 2 against Wolves and against today, 2 1-0 wins. We don't stay up if it isn't for those 2 goals. So absolutely massive. And talk to you about Zerbi. He kept us up with 7 games to go. It was all again going against us when he came in. So what a job it is to keep us in the Premier League.
He has done a phenomenal job. Especially with then getting Simmons injured and other players injured, and he's had to play a very, very similar team. When he first came in, he said, I'm not going to try and do too much. I'm not going to try and change tactics or try and reinvent the wheel. We just got to get through to the end of the season. And he's done it. Now, the thought of him having a whole pre-season with the players that are either still at the club or come in, injuries like Kudus and hopefully Kulu back, we shall see. But what he has done and the passion when we scored that goal, we all loved it when Conte was on the sidelines, and you see that passion from the manager, and he's just a colossus when it comes to the emotion, isn't he, and the passion.
Yeah, and are you fully believe in him now? Do you think this Zerbi, he's going to be he's the guy to take us forward?
Yeah, I mean, look, but people know I had my doubts about him when he came in, but why I had my doubts with him was nothing to do with Greenwood. It was completely different. That proved to be unfactual. So I took everything back that I said. What he's come in and done, he played great football at Brighton. He did and you've seen it in patches and in certain games. We've had periods where we've actually played some decent football, and it's looked like green shoots are coming. And then there's been times where there wasn't, but we've needed to see out performances and make sure we stay resolute and tight and don't concede. And today we could not afford to switch off. And fair play to him. I think Mickey as well was great today. Sorry, how can I forget Mickey? And now we'll see the real De Zerbi effect, and hopefully Mickey will sign a contract. Hopefully, with what we're hearing, obviously with his love for the club or love for De Zerbi. And now we look forward. We look forward and hope that we never ever have to experience another season like we've just endured.
But Daigle, do you think we will? Would you think that he will get the players and the people that he needs to get behind him for next season, or do you think we'll end up in the same situation due to you know who?
Marlon, that's the $64 million question. I mean, I hope. Listen, we all hope Lange and Vinay go, or at least one of them go. We've heard that De Zerbi is going to have more power in transfers. We got to hope that is the case. We'll soon see. And obviously, if he doesn't, we know what De Zerbi's like. He will just take a grenade, take the pin out, and throw it at the board. So it's a summer of major questions. But hopefully, De Zerbi will have the power and authority to make very key decisions. And hopefully, the first two he does is say, Joe and Charlie and Vivian, get Vinay and Lange out of here. God, see you later. Ta-da.
Daigle, do you think that the board and everyone, because of the World Cup, are going to get away with actually delaying a lot of stuff because of it?
Look, but like I said, I don't trust this board to tell me the right time, to make me a cup of tea, whatever you want to put it in. The excuses will come out. We don't have money. We do have money, though. And the World Cup's going on, so the players price it. There's going to be so many excuses, so many different things we hear. My eyes are fully focused now. Now the season's over. The summer of me going absolutely nuclear at Vinay, Lange and the board is only just beginning. People thought I was going mad with Levy. I'm going to be doubling down. This is a massive summer for Tottenham Hotspur. We've heard it before. This is the summer we spend. This is the summer that Spurs exploit their advantage. Well, I'm not listening to those excuses anymore, and a lot of fans aren't. So it's now about putting the focus on them, and we'll see what will be when the season starts.
Yeah, it's as you say, it's a massive summer ahead, and but it's a weird one. Like, as much as it's been horrible this season, I think a lot of fans are starting to look at De Zerbi and maybe look at him and think, if this is what he can do with what he had available to him, imagine if we've got players that are suited to how De Zerbi likes to play. What maybe we could do next season? Is that your thinking?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when we saw it in his final season at Brighton, didn't we? When he'd already been there a season or two, the kind of free-flowing football they did play. And let's face it, they didn't have world-renowned players, but Brighton are a team that scout incredibly well. And we know that. They scout incredibly well. They have a great setup there. And De Zerbi had players that were suited to play in the positions he needed, to play the style of football he needed. And that's the way we've got to look at things. Yes, we need a prolific striker immediately, like a genuine prolific goal scorer. They don't come cheap. And then we got to build the team around what De Zerbi wants. But the midfield looks strong today. I think Bissouma, Bentancur, Gallagher, and especially Paulinho looked incredible today. There's something there, and obviously you got the couple of youngsters in Gray and Bergvall there, and who knows who else comes through. There are things there. We've just got to see what De Zerbi does. But has De Zerbi said, listen, I've kept you up and shown you what I could do with this crap?
Yeah.
Give me some decent players? Yes, he most definitely has. Yes, he most certainly has. And we just got to hope he's backed.
A word on West Ham, Brian? Been relegated to the Championship today?
Shame. I'm devastated. But you know what? It comes down, in all fairness, and without taking the piss, it came down to the two worst run teams in the Premier League. They have owners and boards that have lied to the fans over and over again, taken advantage of the fans, taken the fans for granted, and this is the repercussions. And West Ham are going to go through a tough time now, and they will have a hard time getting back up. They're going to lose key players. Obviously, we've heard about the cost of them being in the Championship and the stadium. They've got some big hurdles to jump over. And thankfully, it's not Tottenham Hotspur having to deal with it.
Damn right. And we could all just breathe a bit easier tonight, can't we, Brian? You know, this whole season has been one of, probably the hardest season we've had, probably following Tottenham. And, we've gotten away with it. But let's just hope, we can put this season in the rear view mirror and we never go through this again.
We'll look at it this way, Sim. The season is over. We can all now breathe that huge sigh of relief, relax. Spurs have kept their Premier League status. Now it's time to have a bit of reflection as a Spurs fan, see what this club do, enjoy the summer, hopefully enjoy England doing very well in the World Cup or whatever nation the Spurs fans follow. And then we go again August.
And go back
we
to
go
hating
again
the
August.
champions.
Mate, this year we just got to enjoy the summer that is coming our way, enjoy the World Cup and a festival of football, and go again. And thankfully, we can all say to ourselves next season, or even when the fixture list comes out in a few weeks, we're looking at the Premier League fixture list. We're not looking at the Championship fixture list, and we can just have this as a marker to say never ever should Spurs be in this situation again. Whether the board remain, whether Lange and Vinay stay, this is unacceptable. This cannot be allowed to happen, and should be used as a reference to say whatever we did here, we did wrong. Never ever are we doing these choices again.
And no Stelegation this year.
Thank God.
No
Yes, delegation is over, people. It's over. It's over.
Believing it's done
For another season.
Where is Stel? Where is he? I want him to answer for the Stelegation.
I'm sure he'll be on. I'm sure he'll be on. But yeah, thank God. Loads of us weren't with delegation, and I love Stel like a brother. He is a brother. But I was absolutely complete opposite side of the spectrum with him. Never wanted us to be relegated. The whole delegation thing is over. And like I said, Spurs remain a Premier League club. But this isn't excitement or celebrations. It's relief and avoiding humiliation.
Absolutely. Brian, always great to speak to you, my friend.
Always a pleasure. I will say, before I do my normal outro, I will say, as I always do, this is a party political broadcast supported by the We Love Tottenham, We Are Tottenham TV channel, my one and only channel. Boys, thank you for another season of brilliant content, non-stop. You are the number one channel. You are the people's channel. And please, God, within the next few weeks, you'll be at 200,000. So I have to get the 200K tattooed next to the...
we hit the 200K today, Brian.
Brian, we're done.
Oh, God, get in there. Like Gaza, if I now need to get my suit measured, yes. I need to get my tattoo added. Yes. And as always, Enoch out. Congratulations, boys.
Thank you, Brian.
We've sacked Ben.